Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's all foggy and cloudy, obscured. Things are obscured, and we're enveloped in a cool layer, a cool blanket of weather. We're going to have rain and snow, which is perfect because it's Christmas. I'm so honored to share this time and this space with you. Oh, I blend in. Look at that. To the dirt, to the decomposed granite. Everywhere around me is granite. I've got those mountains around me are solid granite. The ground on which I am sitting and have my feet firmly is decomposed granite. So I'm surrounded by the rock. And I think Mother Nature has provided us with this as protection and also as an example of how to live our lives. When I was younger, I was not awake. I wasn't aware of much. I was very much in my ego. I did things because I identified with them. And I think that what happens is when you're not aware of your emotions or aware of why you do what you do, your reactions, your responses, it creates anxiety and eventually depression. And I was anxious. I used to be a very anxious person. I had this free-floating anxiety which built and grew, and finally at the end of my 40s, I recognized that I was just operating on this energy that was just radiating, boom, 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 and so that caused me to go into a depression internally. It wasn't the first time I'd been depressed. I've been depressed. I've gone in and out of depression in my life, but before it had been hormonally related, like postpartum, or when I took birth control. And eventually, after my last 2 children, I realized that my depression was postpartum, which also then made me realize that every other bout I'd ever had with depression had been related to, for me personally, it was progesterone. But the last time I was depressed was in my late 40s, early 50s. I spent my 50th birthday, lying on a couch, unable to lift my arms, and crying for a long, long time. I mean, and that was probably related to hormones too, right? Because it was that time of my life, but I think it was also related to anxiety, that free-floating anxiety. Why I have everything? Why am I not happy? At that time, that was and postpartum, I did a short course of antidepressants for about 7 months, that's about how long I personally needed it. Because of the Prozac, I couldn't have orgasms, and that's one of the side effects of antidepressants. So it can kill your buzz. And so I went off of it after 7 months to see if I needed it, and sure enough, I didn't. That was after the kids were born. The last round of depression in my early 50s was healed and cured by having something known as a Kundalini awakening. I'd gone into a temple fire, I was burning in a fire. It was really hot. And as I walked into the fire, I was hypnotized really to walk into the fire. And as I entered the fire was so hot that I had a full body orgasm. And it went on and on. And I realized that I was burning, and I came up out of my state, this divine Kundalini state that I was in, and I recognized that I was burning, so I had to get out of the fire. I ran out, collapsed in Brian's arms, crying, laughing, and in that moment, that very moment, I was happy and not scared, because before I went into the fire, I was scared and unhappy. And that's why I am the way I am today, which is this. You can use your own words to describe this. I feel more. I feel deeply. I am awake. I'm certainly not enlightened. There's a big difference between being awakened and being enlightened. I'm not enlightened. There are times in your life and times in my life where something called bliss can happen. It hasn't been very often where I felt fully blissful. That's when the ego is completely invisible. The ego has gone to sleep. It doesn't last for very long. The ego is a very powerful part of us. I don't think people really understand what the ego is. I certainly do. I've done a lot of work on the ego. I've done a lot of really deep plant-based sacred medicine work, which is sort of scary, or it is scary. And the fear that you feel before going into or approaching a sacred plant-based ceremony is really reverence to the plants and respect. Like respecting the ocean when you approach the ocean, or respecting the mountains when you go into the mountains. So you never know what you're going to learn, but you are going to learn a lesson. And that's where I learned that hard lessons are the grandest lessons. I forgot, you didn't forget. You're probably thinking, why didn't we take a deep breath? Let's do it now. It's never too late to take a deep breath. It's never too late to have a happy childhood. It's never too late to wake up. So exhale everything that attaches you to unhappiness, everything that attaches you to suffering. Break those psychic bonds that attach. Exhale. And inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Relax your shoulders. Relax your jaw. Do some head rolls. Do some shoulder rolls. Oh. I have hearing aids. It's one of those things. Seems like it used to be so easy to get up in the morning. Now I have to do so many things. Put my hearing aids in, and if the batteries have died, put batteries in them. get my glasses, have my comfortable recovery sandals by my bed. Yes, I don't remember having all those things to complicate life when I was a little girl. Being a little girl, a really little girl, like a little girl that wakes up in the morning and gets a bowl of cereal and goes and watches cartoons and then goes outside and sees her friends on their bikes. And, you know, the nice thing about being an old lady is that you can be a kid again. You don't have any hormones in your body. So you're not a slave to those vicious and neurochemicals that are coursing through your brain. Because hormones, you know, are very powerful neurochemicals. That's why they make you anxious and why they make you sad and why they make us crazy. And because of it, we're connected to the moon, the mother moon. She controls us because she controls our tides. And I am not bound to her anymore, only faintly. She's not my mother anymore, my mother moon. She's now my sister moon. And I thank her for all the cycles she gave to me. And because of all of her cycles, she was able to gift me with children and fertility. And I know for those of you who are absent that gift, it is a deep sadness and sorrow. And I want you to know that you have us as your support, women supporting women. Isn't that wonderful? Instead of women tearing other women down, oh, she's so blah, blah, blah. I mean, getting together with your friends and talking badly about people. Just imagine doing that. I remember gossip, you know, I would gossip, 20 years ago, or hear gossip, and it seemed so fun and juicy, and oh, he and she and them and they and their children, and oh, God. I apologize to anyone I ever gossiped about. I'm so sorry. Let's pass on the good things that people do. Let's talk about what's right with people, not what's wrong with them, including ourselves. What's right with you? Go ahead. Make a list. Say it out loud. I'm funny. I'm devoted. I have impeccable integrity. I'm loyal. I'm honest. I'm kind. I'm generous. What else is right with me? I gotta focus on what's wrong with me. Well, okay, but we could make a list of that too. I talk a lot. I ask too many questions. I don't think before I say things. Oh, well, I think what's right with me column is longer than the what's wrong with me. And besides, I spent too much of my young adulthood and womanhood and motherhood feeling like there was always something wrong with me, that I did this or that. And then guess what? I had that divine Kundalini awakening, that Joan of Arc moment in the fire where I came out of that confused, but then that's what set me on the path. I suffered. I went through a lot. And then that depression, major depression, I went through so much and came out just enveloped in a blanket of wisdom. The trees, the plants, my cronehood. You trade your youth for wisdom. So all of you that are out there telling me I'm an old hag, oh no, I get that. You are 200 years old, you old hag. That's a compliment. Oh God, I wish I could be 200 years old. Thank you. Yay. Look at that face. Look at that neck. I could get a facelift and a neck lift. My husband's best friend is a plastic surgeon. He'd do it for free. Maybe I will. I know all of you that see this are going to go, don't do that, Dr. Deb. Then you'll end up looking like those ladies. I like the way I look. Well, that's because I don't see myself as an old lady. So, thank you for being here. I woke up this morning, the first thing I thought was gratitude. Gratitude for it being so comfortable in my bed and being warm and being safe and being with my family. My family's here. Yay. My last kid, my littlest angel showed up last night. She flew in, so I got my two youngest here, Marley and Michaela, and we're such a fun little happy unit. Yeah, we're gonna make magic. We're just gonna do a lot of nothing, hanging out. So have a wonderful holiday. I'll try to get back to you in the next couple days. It's gonna be busy here, and planning, and don't do too much shopping. It's not good for your pocketbook. It's not good for the environment. You probably don't need all that stuff. Okay? Give people experiences. You know, I'm giving my daughter some therapy for her misophonia. You can look it up. Misophonia. It's when sounds bother you. You can't handle people crunching or nails scratching or people eating. So, experiences. I love you. I really do. I love you. Namaste. And I must go. Get your hot fluid on board. I love you again and again and again. I love you.